Hello and welcome into this week's NASCAR K&N Pro Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from R&N. On today's K&N Rewind, we are looking back at the K&N West NAPA Auto Parts Idaho 208 from Saturday night. 208 laps, supposed to be 208 laps. We went a good deal into overtime in this race. 52 miles around the quarter-mile Meridian Speedway in Meridian, Idaho. There was a lot happening in this race, and I'm gonna throw out the unpopular opinion here very quickly. This race was better than last year's Meridian race, and I know that's gonna get a lot of people hot and bothered because Hailie Deegan won last year, and she won it on a bump and run. It was her first win. It was historic and all that, and I get that. But the race itself, outside of that last lap last year, was good, but it wasn't great. There was a lot happening in this race, from green flag to checkered flag, drama, championship implications, lots of accidents, lots of good, hard racing. This race, I think, definitely was better than the 2018 installment of the Idaho 208. So first off, we had 12 caution flags in this race for a total of 70 laps. I mean, that's not too far shy of half the scheduled distance. So that's saying something. First one came at lap number 27, as the 27 car of Devin Dodson spun in turn 4, lap 52. The 38 of John Wood spun in turn 3, lap 78. The 78 of Dylan Caldwell spun in on the front stretch. Lap 116, another spin, this time by the 34 of Tony Cosentino. Lap 124, the 77 of Takuma Koga spun on the backstretch. Then things got interesting at lap 132. Hard racing between Hailie Deegan and Trevor Huddleston for position in turns 3 and 4. Actually, I believe this started in 1 and 2. Deegan kind of moving Huddleston out of the way in 1 and 2. We get down to 3 and 4. Still side by side, beating and banging through turns 3 and 4. Huddleston having none of it. They come off turn 4 and he basically hooks her into the outside wall on the front stretch. So that was the end of Hailie Deegan's competitive night. She had a very fast car. Probably could have contended for the win, but was not meant to be on this night for Hailie Deegan after her run-in with Trevor Huddleston. Lap 143, Tony Cosentino and Hailie Deegan getting into it in turn 2. Lap 153, 27 of Devin Dodson and the 77 of Takuma Koga get together in turn 2. Lap 176, the 21 of Josh Jackson, 27 of Devin Dodson, and the 37 of Keith McGee, all wrecking in turn 1. Lap 186, Josh Jackson again spins in turn 1. Still 2 caution flags left in this race. Lap 202, the 08 of Travis Milburn, and the 34 of Tony Cosentino get together in turn 1. And final caution of the night came at lap 207. Major carnage on the first overtime restart. Really, this was Jagger Jones had led this thing from the pole most of the night and had just a fantastic race going. Still battling for the win on this final, or the next to last overtime restart. They go down into turns 3 and 4. He and Derek Kraus side by side. They had been the main 2 contenders all night. Jones had cleared Derek Kraus down the backstretch. Kraus goes in, gives Jones a little nudge into turn 3, and Jones goes around, causes a pretty big pileup in turns 3 and 4, all involving Jagger Jones, Trevor Huddleston, Hailie Deegan, Takuma Koga, and the 86 of Bridget Burgess. That was your final caution of the night. There was another accident as they took the white flag. Everybody able to get it going enough that they were able to bring it back around to the checkered flag. They did. It was the checkered flag and the caution flag waving at the same time at the end of the race, but officially does not show as a caution on the record. 3 lead changes in this race among 2 drivers. Jagger Jones led the first 120 laps from the pole before Derek Kraus, who had started in the 7th position, finally found his way up to the front, muscled his way past for the lead, and led the next 16 laps. Jagger Jones led lap 137 off of the restart from the Hailie Deegan-Trevor Huddleston incident. Derek Kraus retook the lead on lap 138 and never gave it up, led the final 84 laps. Again, Jagger Jones did get by him on that next to last restart, and then ends up getting spun by Kraus in turns 3 and 4. So officially, Derek Kraus led the final 84 laps in this race on his way to his 4th victory of the season. Jagger Jones led a total of 121 laps in this race, and Derek Kraus led 100. Now, this finishing order is extremely, I guess, out of whack for what you would normally expect it to be. There's a lot of names up here that you would not expect to be in the top 5 or the top 10. And that's because a lot of your main contenders had problems throughout the night. Todd Souza, I guess it's a little surprising to see him in the 2nd position, but he put up a fantastic fight all night. Did have one of the fastest cars in the race. Probably had the only car in the field that could run with the Sunrise Fords and the Bill McAnally Toyotas. And gave Derek Kraus a good run there on the final restart. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite get it done there at the end of the race. And 2nd for Todd Souza. Trevor Huddleston, even after getting caught up in a couple incidents late in the race, came home in 3rd. And then Josh Jackson in 4th, and Brad Casau, I apologize if I did not pronounce that correctly. Have never seen a good pronunciation of that. Brad Casau rounds out the top 5. Rest of your top 10, Josh Finopoulos, a good run for him. Travis Milburn in 7th. Brittany Zamora had a better run than that going on the night. And then just getting caught up in a couple things near the end of the race, and brought it home with damage in the 8th position. Zach Telford running 2nd on that final restart. Took the white flag in 2nd, and then got turned in turns 1 and 2 and came home in the 9th position. Keith McGee rounds out the top 10. Final page 11 through 18th. Bridget Burgess making her first career K&N West Series start. She comes from off-road truck racing. Brought it home in the 12th position. Hailie Deegan there landed in 13th. Jagger Jones in 14th. And Takuma Koga down here in the 15th position. So that's your results from the K&N West race from Meridian. Working on a Derek Kraus interview. Supposed to be talking to him later today about when to get that scheduled. Should be here either later today or tomorrow when we get that done. So keep an eye out for that at the latest Monday night. But should have a chat with Derek Kraus coming up here very soon. So keep an eye out for that. Point standings following this race. Derek Kraus has amassed a pretty good lead at this point. With the troubles of most of his championship competitors in this race, Trevor Huddleston being the only one really able to sneak away with a decent finish with his 3rd place finish. Huddleston has moved up to the 2nd position in points, but he's 40 points back now of Kraus, with Hailie Deegan falling to 3rd, 45 points back, and Jagger Jones falls to 4th, 48 points back. So all of them still within striking distance to be able to do something before the end of the season. Because remember, we still have 3 races left in this season. We have Roseville on October 12th, Bakersfield October 26th, and Phoenix on November 9th for K&N West. So still 3 races left. Still a lot can happen in those 3 races. And 40 points is definitely something that can be made up in 3 races. But it is probably going to take some bad luck on Derek Kraus's part for anyone to catch up at this point. If Kraus continues to run consistently up front, doesn't have any mechanical failures, doesn't get caught up in a wreck, it's gonna be tough for any of these guys to get up to him at this point. Again, not impossible, but it's going to take some bad luck on Krause's part, because if he's top 5 for the rest of the season in the last 3 races, it's not going to happen. It's just not possible. Even if Trevor Huddleston wins the final 3 races, if Derek Krause finishes top 5 in those 3 races, I don't think that's enough points for Huddleston to make it up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here for the rest of the season. Derek Krause has had a very consistently strong season up to this point. It's been a very good season for him. Really only one finish outside the top 10. That was at Sonoma when he finished 19th. And besides that, only 2 finishes out of the top 5. 8th at Colorado when he got spun on the last lap, and 6th at the Las Vegas dirt track. Other than that, every finish has been at worst 4th. So it's been a very strong, consistent season for Derek Krause. So it's going to be very tough to make up those points for any of these drivers, Trevor Huddleston, Haley Deegan, or Jagger Jones, in these final 3 races without Derek Krause having some sort of bad luck. So we will see what happens in these final 3 races, but it will be exciting to see here going down the stretch. But that's your point standings following the NAPA Auto Parts Idaho 208 from Meridian, and I believe that will do it for us on this K&N West Rewind show. Cup Rewind coming up tonight to talk about their race from the Roval today. Second episode of the Rookie Stripes podcast, of course, coming up Wednesday at 6 p.m. It will be a premiere, so there will be a live chat for you to come out and talk with us during that, so that'll be fun. Diecast review, as usual, coming up on Wednesday. It'll be Joey Logano's Las Vegas winner from 2019, and ARC is back in action next weekend at Lucas Oil Raceway in Indianapolis, so we will be back at the track next weekend. Lots of exciting stuff coming up here in the next week, so you want to make sure you go down below if you haven't already, you hit that subscribe button, and you ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss anything going forward from R&N. And remember, Derek Krause interview coming up here within the next 24 to 36 hours, so keep an eye out for that as well. But at that, this has been the NASCAR K&N Pro Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.